Online tools in the classroom: communication, engagement, and presentation. My name is Andrea Long, and I will provide you with tools in the classroom to help your students succeed in these three categories. Communication. Social media in the classroom. Social media in the classroom can be a great tool to use to help teach students how to communicate with one another online. There are many forms of different social media, such as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and many more. Using social media in the classroom can be a great way for teachers to show students how to appropriately communicate in different online settings and set examples for positive digital citizenship. Why use social media in the classroom? Students are already on all of these platforms. They are user-friendly and exciting for students. Students can feel like experts when it comes to this type of technology. Social media is in all of our lives daily. Through the use of social media, students can learn to communicate through multimedia such as videos, pictures, flyers, emails, tweets, and more. Examples of social media. Twitter. Students can use Twitter to research current or trending events, get links to direct news sources, see first-person videos of events, and get direct quotes from people involved in our current events. Students can also use Twitter to post images, thoughts, or replies to current events. Students can learn to reply to their peers, teachers, and others through Twitter. Teachers can pose questions to the class through a tweet. Students can reply to that tweet with their answer, and through this, students learn how to use hashtags and how to respond appropriately to professional media on social media. Social media platforms like Twitter can help shy or EL students find their voice and their place in the classroom, and they do not have to be afraid of raising their hand or speaking incorrectly. Examples of social media. Instagram. Instagram is picture-based but has a lot of the same functionality as Twitter. Students can see pictures and videos of current events, share images that they have created, present their work on Instagram Live, make comments to one another, share posts, and research hashtags. Teachers can post pictures or videos relevant to a lesson and have students reply, share, or discuss. Teachers can post polls on a class story on Instagram where students can reply to a question that the teacher poses. More examples of social media: YouTube and TikTok. YouTube and TikTok are similar in that they are both platforms to create, edit, and share videos. Differences are that a TikTok can only be 15, 30, or 60 seconds, where YouTube videos can be any amount of time. TikTok also has preloaded music to go along with videos. YouTube can be used to share virtual class lessons, give directions to students, or hold virtual live classes. Students can comment on the video and teachers can provide links in the description. TikTok can be used to simply give out reminders through video, display student work, or make silly videos that are content related that students would see when scrolling through their news feed. Both of these platforms can be used to set an example for students on how to communicate through videos and have an audience comment or share videos and how to comment appropriately on online videos or media. Compared to Web 0.0. Social media has had a presence in mainly Web 2.0, but when looking back, some social media sites were in existence in Web 1.0. Some people would suggest that these sites were MySpace, AOL Messenger, Yahoo Messenger, Donate Now buttons and forums, Craigslists, and more. These older 1.0 platforms did not have the social capability that we do now and certainly would not have been appropriate to use in the classroom. Web 1.0 had an explosion of blogging and email forums. This type of social media would have been great to use in the classroom to teach students communication. Now, students are bored with these types of social media and/or already know how to appropriately communicate when using these applications. The pros of social media. Students are always on social media. When uploading content from class into their regular lives, students are forced to engage with the content and see what other classmates and teachers have commented or posted. In this way, students are reading, viewing, listening to positive online communication. Students communicate on social media regularly. They are familiar with these platforms and language of those platforms. Bringing social media into the classroom could teach students to communicate with one another appropriately. The cons of social media. Students may become distracted when using social media in the classroom. Some teachers do not like students to have their phones out when in class, and it becomes a distraction to the task at hand. Teachers must set norms on how to communicate on social media. Otherwise, students will communicate with teachers and peers like they normally would on social media, such as saying things like LOL, IDK, haha, spelling words incorrectly like yeah. Social media has the potential to become inappropriate for school. One inappropriate comment or way of communication can create chaos on a post. Norms are fundamental to set when you are using social media in the classroom. Social media in my classroom. YouTube has become very important to me to put my lessons up for students to rewatch. If they needed help with directions, I was also able to screen record to show my students exactly what to do. An example link is provided in this slide, and I'll put the slide link to the discussion board when I post this presentation. I have used Instagram to help promote scientific learning. I would post cool news articles or pictures that I found on the web, or I would post student work. Students loved having a class Instagram where they could show their parents what they did later that day, and this helped with communication because norms and social media presence were discussed before students were allowed to follow the Instagram. Engagement in the classroom. Kahoot. Kahoot is a learning platform that can turn any topic into a game designed by the teacher. Teachers create multiple types of questions that are presented on a live screen in front of the class. Teachers can also assign a Kahoot to students to do on their own at home, for example, while distance learning. Students can use cell phones, tablets, or computers to answer the questions that are posed on the screen. And Kahoot can be used for class review, individual review, creating assignments, or interactive lessons. Examples of different uses of Kahoot. There is a regular game where teachers make pre-made questions that are presented on the screen, and all students join on their devices via the game pin that is on the screen. The teacher can set different game settings like nicknames, team names, time limits, and more. Distance learning games, students can join the same way, but they can join on a video conference call on any conference platform. Teachers then will screen share the game with the class and have students enter the pin on their phones and play as normal. A student-paced challenge on Kahoot is questions and answers that are on the same device screen. Students can turn off a timer to help them focus on the content, and this can be used for students to do homework. It can be used for students to test prep and more. Teachers can set a deadline for students to complete this challenge if they want to assign it as homework. And students can join the challenge via a link or a pin and can do it any time before the deadline. Teachers can also see progress reports from these challenges. There are multiple different types of questions on Kahoot that teachers can pose for their students. There's a quiz, true or false, images as answers instead of words or otherwise as answers, polls, slides with information, puzzles, and open-ended questions. The pros of Kahoot. Kahoot is primarily Kahoot's primary purpose for classroom use is engaging review study of a topic. I think this is way more interactive and engaging when compared to other review tools such as Jeopardy and Quizlet. Using individualized smartphones, computers, or tablets makes Kahoot a great tool to help get 100% participation in the classroom. Other tools like Jeopardy and Quizlet allow students to not participate and hide behind louder voices on their team. Kahoot is also a great tool to see student progress and to do quick check-ins. As the game is running, the teacher can see the scores of individual students after each question. The teacher can write down who seems to struggle with this topic and give students more individualized support. When comparing this to the same feature on Quizlet, on the live option on Quizlet, it is only in teams, so this makes it harder for the student and teacher to decide if they need more help with a topic. In other words, students are in teams and the teacher cannot figure out if a student is struggling or if the whole team is struggling. The cons of Kahoot. Some teachers may not like that students need a smartphone, computer, or tablet to join Kahoot. Review games like Jeopardy work much better when trying to keep students focused on review and not distracted by technology. A feature that I personally am not fond of on Kahoot is that the student who answers the fastest gathers the most points. As a teacher, I want students to be focused on the correct answer and not beating the classmates on the timer. Quizlet, however, does not count points like this. Instead, students work as a team to gather the points based on the correct answer and not the time it took to get that answer. In my classroom, I have used Kahoot to review before a quiz, to review after lectures that may have been boring to some students, and to engage students in content when I understand that some topics may be boring. I have used Kahoot to pinpoint students who may need more individualized help with specific topics. I have also used Kahoot in groups to help students discuss and come to conclusions within harder content-specific questions. I have used Kahoot to just fill time after a lesson before the end of class. Kahoot in this way makes students retain information that you have just taught them that lesson. Below is a link to one of my Kahoots that I've created on organelles of the cell. Presentation. Canva. Canva is a great graphic design presentation tool that emphasizes personal design to any project. Canva is an excellent way for students to present their work while allowing them to be creative through personal expression. Canva is simple and easy to use and is perfect for students learning to use images to convey information. It even includes thousands of preloaded images and pre-made templates to use. Canva is also cloud-based, so users do not need to download the software to use it. Students can use Canva to create a poster project. They can advertise a club at school, to announce they are running for student office, to advertise fundraising, and much more. Teachers can use Canva to create posters in their classrooms, such as classroom norms, rules, or inspirational quotes. And students can use Canva to display personal art designs. The pros of Canva. Canva is a beginner's tool for graphic design. It is easy for students to learn quickly. When compared to Adobe Photoshop, Canva is much more user-friendly. Students can organize different projects into folders, and this saves time while searching for a project, especially if multiple designs are made for using one single project. Templates, icons, and illustrations, fonts, and images are already preloaded into Canva for students to use. This eliminates the time it takes for students to Google images or take their own pictures. Canva is cloud-based. Unlike Adobe Photoshop, students do not need to download software to school computers or iPads. This can save time for the teacher in preparing the lesson. The cons of Canva. Not all preloaded images are free. Students must be careful when choosing an image to be sure that the image will not cost them money when they export it. If so, students might have to redo parts of their presentation. Some users have reported that when Canva is down for maintenance, all of the progress that has been made while maintenance is going on gets deleted due to being cloud-based. A solution to this would be backing up images after every save. As compared to Adobe Photoshop, this is not an issue because the work is saved straight to your device. Another con of Canva is it is limited to PDF, JPEG, or PNG only. Students cannot send their projects to one another to edit. Adobe Photoshop, however, can be sent and edited by another person. Canva in my classroom. I've used Canva as a presentation tool in my classroom and saw the difference when students presented their work. Students were more enthusiastic, engaged, creative, and expressive when using Canva as compared to other presentation tools such as PowerPoint. Students worked harder to create images that convey the information they wanted to get across. When using PowerPoint, students would just Google random images that kind of fit the topic they were discussing. With Canva, students work much harder to make their information and pictures match and look beautiful. Here are some examples of my student work in my classroom during an invasive species project. As you can see, the students really worked hard to make sure the images matched the text and whatever else they wanted to convey on their posters. In conclusion, there are many great tools to help teach students to communicate with each other, with yourself as a teacher, and with the community on social media such as Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and many more. Kahoot is a great tool to use when trying to have 100% classroom engagement in content. Students love to use Kahoot on their devices, and it makes tracking learning easy for teachers. Canva is a great tool to create beautiful, personalized designs that will enhance the basic presentation tools that teachers and students already know. There are many more online tools to help engage in content, present their work, and communicate with each other. Infusing technology with teaching is one great way to help students achieve these goals. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. If you cannot click on any link, please feel free to email me and I will send you links to whatever was linked in my presentation. Thanks.